this is Brian with ActiveMelody.com. Well, this week we're going to be taking a look at twang and how to introduce some country style lead into your playing. And it doesn't matter if you're a rock player or a blues player or however you identify yourself as a guitar player, these country licks are a nice complement and they work well with just about any style. So we're going to break all of them down note for note, and I'll show you where they all come from so that you can put it in context so you can start to use them in your own playing when you improvise. So I've got this lesson split into two parts. In this video, we'll take a look at the first half. If you'd like to watch the second half and get the tablature and get the 2 MP3 jam tracks, I've got multiple tempos. You can get all of that by going to ActiveMelody.com, go to the weekly lessons page, and do a search for EP259. Alright, so if you're ever out in the Nashville area and you decide to go listen to some live music, go honky-tonking, at some point you're going to hear a lead guitar player take a lead break and you're going to hear some real low notes played, which is kind of counter to what we're used to. Usually we think of playing lead in sort of a higher registry. But that Nashville sound, part of that country sound, is playing, not all the time, but taking a part of a solo and playing it really low. A lot of times you hear the melody picked out in the low strings like that. And what gives it that sound, that twangy sound, it's a combination of the bends and stuff, but also the tone. You're playing low notes while you have a real high tone coming out of your amplifier. And so to get that sound, whatever electric you're playing through, just switch it to the bridge pickup, turn your tone all the way up, and then with the amp you just need a little bit of overdrive. You don't want to go clean channel because you don't have enough sustain, but with a little bit of overdrive and a little bit of reverb, you can get that real cool twangy sound. And it sounds great when you're playing low notes like that, especially if you're kind of aggressively picking them like that. So that's all you need. You don't have to go out and buy a Telecaster if you want to sound country. Obviously, I'm doing this on a Stratocaster just to prove the point that you don't have to be only on a Telecaster. And I could have done this on a Les Paul, even with those, with humbucking pickups, as long as I'm playing through the bridge pickup and have the tone up. All right, so this song is played in the key of A, and it starts with a little intro, a little melody line that goes like this. Okay, and the way that I count that in is it starts, that first note, which is the open 5th string, starts on the 3. So you count it like this, 1, 2, 3. Right when you say 3, you come in on that note. So when you're playing along with the jam track and practicing with that, you're going to hear one measure that is just a click track to get you into the tempo, and then the next measure is where that would start. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let me talk through the notes here, and then I'll explain how to think about them so you can use them when you improvise. So I'm starting with the open 5th string. These are all downstrokes with the right hand. Then the 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret. All on the 5th string. Now, from here I'm going to go. So it's the 4th fret, 5th string. I'm going to do a half bend. It's not a full bend, and I'm pulling to get that effect. I don't have enough room to push that. Back to the 2nd fret, and then to the 4th fret, 6th string, and then that last note is your A note. And all of that would be played over your 1 chord, or the A. Alright, now the way that you want to think about this so that you can use this going forward is to think about your A chord shape here, and then look at these notes you have to work with. I always think about it as a little box you have between the 2nd fret and the 4th fret. So you have 4th fret, 2nd fret open, and then you have the same thing on the 6th string. So you can use any of those 6 notes, and all of those notes are just in the major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the major scale for A. They're just like a little segment of that scale, and you have it very conveniently right there. So try that. Try putting on the jam track or playing along with another jam track and see what you can do. Just playing some of those notes there out of that major scale in A. And a lot of lead stuff comes from this area. Okay, so backing it up from the beginning, we have. Now notice when I come to this, I go ahead and bar the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret, which are making the A chord. And then that next lick that I played goes. That's a real classic blues, rock, country lick. And to play that, my middle finger comes down on the 3rd fret 5th string, and then I do a hammer-on to the 4th fret 5th string with my ring finger. And then I play the 4th string, which is behind the 2nd fret there. That's why you keep that bar down the whole time. Then my ring finger goes down on the 4th fret 4th string, and then you play the open, or well, it's not the open 4th string, it's the 4th string behind the 2nd fret there. And then that last note is your 5th string, or your A. Now you've heard that in bluegrass, in rock. That's a huge takeaway right there. I mean, and so this is where I'm telling you, like, even though it's country, you can start to use this stuff in just about any style. And I use that all the time when I'm playing blues. Now here's another little sidebar. If you like that, you can do the same thing, just slide everything up a set of strings and you can do it in E. Now you can go back and forth between E and A, and you can write your own song just from that, right? Okay, so let's take it from the beginning now. We have the whole intro part. Nice. All right, so now we're going to play over the 1 chord, which is an A chord. And I'm going to play this. All right? And what I love about that is it starts on the low E string, or the 6th string. You can't get any lower than that unless you change your tuning. And so even though we're playing an A, in the key of A, you're starting on that low string and doing a hammer-on to the 2nd fret on the 6th string. Now this is coming right out of that little box that I just explained, which is the major scale for A. And then we're going to play the open 5th string. Now we're going to play this. Now that's the same notes from that we just learned. So that's, and this time I'm using my index finger for that. So that's the 3rd fret 5th string. And then I'm going to play, and I'm picking this, so it's a downstroke and an upstroke. That would be the 4th fret 5th string. So we have, and then we're going to play the open 5th string. So we have, and then I'm going to play, it's the same notes we've already played. It's the open 6th string, a hammer on to the 2nd fret on the 6th string, and then an upstroke on the 5th string, the open 5th string. So backing up, then we have, and then I have this real country thing, which I got from Bill Kirchen. And if you're not familiar with Bill Kirchen, man, killer guitar player. He was the guy in Commander Cody, and just an all-around excellent guitar player. You got to listen to the song Hot Rod Lincoln if you've never heard that. That's like some of the best guitar work. And there's live videos of him playing it on YouTube and stuff. Anyway, this lick, it's also in Footloose, I think, the Kenny Loggins thing. But anyway, it's the 4th fret 6th string, and we slide up to the 5th fret. And then I'm gonna, so that's a downstroke, and then I'm gonna match that note, same note, which is the open 5th string, or an A note. So we have pretty cool little effect. So you can remember that. It's another takeaway if you learn nothing else. If you ever get lost in a solo and you're playing over an A, you can throw that in and just twang it up and hang out there as long as you want, as long as the chord doesn't change. All right, so we have. Now after that I went, and then I just hit the open 5th string like this, up, down, up. So, okay, now the song goes to the 4 chord, which is a D, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I'm doing right here, but now we're going to do it up a set of strings, so I'm going to go. Same thing, we're just going to start now on the 5th string, 4th fret, slide up to the 5th fret, and then I'm going to play the open 4th string, or the D note. And so that hopefully that makes sense why that works. So we're just playing that over the A part, we're playing that over the D part. And then I come down to the 2nd fret 5th string and do a half bend and release. And that's kind of hard to do depending on your string gauge and everything. I use 10 gauge strings just so you know, but it's a bend and release, and then you play the open 5th string. All right, let's back it up. Actually, let's go all the way back to the beginning and play it up to that point. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then it goes back to the 1 chord at this point, and I played. Let's learn that. So we're going to come up now to the 4th fret, 4th string, and just so you know where we're at, we're in major pentatonic scale, pattern 1. That's where those notes are coming from. So it's the 4th fret and then the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then we're going to come right back to that same thing that we started with, which is the middle finger down on the 3rd fret, 5th string, and then we're up to the 4th fret, 5th string. So we have, and then back to the open 5th string. So that's a little bit of a repeat of what we just learned. So you're not learning new stuff with that. And then we're going to do that same lick just down here where we do the hammer. We play the open 6th string, hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then the open 5th string, or the A note. So we have, and then back to the same lick that we played there. So there's a lot of repeated licks here, which is nice. It's just trying to remember them. So I realize that it can be challenging, but trust me, if I can write this and memorize it myself and then be able to teach it in just a day or two, you can do this. You just have to kind of sit down and, you know, just drill yourself. And that's why the jam track is so important when you're learning this, because it gives you that tool to practice with. Okay, we'll skip the very intro part, but let's take it from... 3, 4. And then we go to the 5 chord now. So that's our next lick. Same kind of motif, I guess, but now we're going to go to the E. So it's the 5 chord is an E. So I'm going to come down to the 2nd fret, 6th string, do a half bend. Again, you're just pulling that string, and then play the open 6th string, which is the E note, which is why it works over the E chord. So another little takeaway, even if you don't remember anything else, this, you can remember that, right? So if you're ever playing along in a whatever scenario and there's an E chord at some point, that's a great lick to use to play over the E chord or to get into an E chord. It's really, really cool. Okay, so after we hit that low E, we're going to hit an E an octave higher. So that would be the 2nd fret, 4th string. And then there's this lick. I love that. So it's 2nd fret, 4th string. Then we come down to the 4th fret, 5th string. 2nd fret, 5th string. Now from here, you can see I've already got my finger down on the 2nd fret, 5th string. I'm going to have to push it up one more string so I can do another bend and release. And then the open E string. So all together that lick goes. So I might have to practice that. It's more going from there to there. That's the hardest part. So then this next lick sounds like this. Alright, so all of that's played over the A chord. And a lot of this is going to be repetitive. So there's that again. That's the open 6th string, the hammer onto the 2nd fret, and then the open 5th string. So that's the same. And then we're going to play... And that is pretty much a repeat of everything we've learned. So we're gonna go ahead and bar with our index finger the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret. So you've got your A chord, and then we're gonna play that. That's that 3rd fret, 5th string up to the 4th fret, 5th string, and then we're gonna play the 2nd fret, 4th string twice, and then the 4th fret, 4th string. Take it off back to the 2nd fret. And then we're going to come up and play the 3rd string now. Now we're getting in a little higher. So we're going to play the 3rd string behind the 2nd fret. Okay, now after that I'm going to reach up here. I'm going to try and keep that bar in place, but I'm going to reach up here with, I use my ring finger for this, to the 5th fret 3rd string. And I hit it and then I slide down to the 4th fret. And then I come down to the 2nd fret, all on the 3rd string. And then I played. So I go to the 4th fret 3rd string, back to the 2nd fret, 4th fret 4th string, and then I resolve that A chord lick on the 2nd fret 3rd string. So let's take it from. And then we go to the 4 chord, which is a D. And while I'm already in position here with my index finger down on the 2nd fret 3rd string, I'm going to play the same, it's actually the same thing that we were doing, but now we're just going to play it up a set of strings. So we're going to start on the D string, and the middle finger goes down on the 3rd fret 4th string, ring finger goes down on the 4th fret 4th string, and then I come up to the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, and then there's a bend and release on the 4th fret 3rd string, come back down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So altogether that D part sounds like this. Alright, let me back up now. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to play through that slowly up to that point from the very intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then after that I played. Alright, and that's just a harmonized third that I've used all the time. This is another takeaway. If it's new to you, you're going to love this. But I'm just playing the A chord, and I'm playing strings 2 and 3 out of that chord. And then I'm going to take my middle finger and go down on the 3rd fret 2nd string. Ring finger goes down on the 4th fret 3rd string. And I'm going to take that shape and walk it up, all the way up till my middle finger's on the 5th fret, 2nd string. And the reason I said you're going to love this is it's right off of this chord shape here. So if you're ever using this chord shape, you can imagine how to play that little harmonized third. By third, I just mean there are 3 intervals apart, those 2 notes. So in other words, if we were playing the C chord shape, there it is again, right? There's your bar, just like you're playing your A. So you're up here now. So you can start to, you know, think about all the things you can do with these little harmonized, and you can keep going with it. I just went up 3 steps, but walked up to there. So that's why it works, and how you can get to it. Now once I'm here, I did a half bend with both of those strings, like that. It's actually not that difficult to do, and it doesn't have to be super accurate. It just has to be a bend of some kind. Even if you kind of overdo it, it's okay, because it almost just sounds corny and twangy, and it actually kind of works. And then I went, did another half bend, did 2 of them there. But this time I slid down so that my middle finger is on the 3rd fret 2nd string. And then I go back to the same 2 strings that I started with, strings 2 and 3 out of the 2nd fret. And then to conclude that I went. So that's the 2nd fret, 4th string, do a hammer onto the 4th fret, and then play the 2nd fret again. And then I take my ring finger, come up here to the 4th fret, 5th string, do a quick slide down to the 2nd fret, and then the open A string. And that allows me to take, by hitting that A string and letting it ring out, it allows me to take my hand off the fretboard and come up to something higher on the neck and play the next part, which we're going to cover in the next video. So we're going to get into all the higher notes. It's not going to be an exact copy of what we did down here. It's just we're going to keep going in a high registry. So let me back up and play through all of that one more time. I'll play through it slowly, and then that's going to wrap up this part 1 video. If you haven't liked me on Facebook, do that. And if you haven't subscribed to the Active Melody YouTube channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, just click the subscribe button. Also click the alert bell so you can be notified in real time, because I put out new lessons every week. Alright, so let's take this from the beginning. 1, 2, 3,